Riff one none. One for $10, one for $2. Thank you very much. Capitalism wants infinite growth. In biology, we call that cancer. Not only dumb, because the alternative is stagnation and poverty, but also many of them will show China's endless flat GDP growth. Yeah, it's infinite growth. That just means boundless growth, i.e. growth that is not being hampered. So yes, we want infinite growth. Call that cancer. What is it a cancer against? It's a cancer against nature. We hate nature. So if you have a properly integrated ideology, it doesn't matter.
It's stupider than that, right? Because like regular life forms, we're switching out our cells regularly, where we generate new cells, we grow new cells, and then we discard dead ones, and we keep doing that regularly, and we're sort of in an equilibrium with the environment. But supposing that like we had a problem where we solved like the way we die of age, don't have DNA degradation, we would be growing infinitely, right? We would just be growing to the limit of the environment there, and we would reach an equilibrium. A cancer cell is a cell that is not utilizing the resources in your body appropriately because it is refusing to die. It's like a firm, right? It's a firm that is like a zombie firm that is just kind of it's taxing the rest of your body to continue living, right?
I wonder what we call that firm.
Bro.
Yep.
Right. Whereas like a market economy, a free market economy is living in equilibrium with its means, right? It's actually taking the resources that are available to it, and it's building appropriately. Communism is cancer. Okay, that's the real facts today.
Yep.
And then for the second one, he's clarifying the quote was not in the video. He just heard it recently. Yeah, thank you for the donation.
I saw it on like philosophy tweets or whatever, which is like the worst philosophy account you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like normie philosophy is like the worst goddamn thing in the world. It's like all those images of like a woman where she's like and having to hear a guy talk about philosophy, and it's something I thought at like 6 years old. It's like, no, you didn't.
I thought about that at 3 years old. So
also, you see. So when you were 6 years old, you solved the problem of the one and the many, did you? What was your? It's like, no, you did not. You did not think of this thing.
One at 4 years old.
Like, I mean, obviously, the best philosopher recently was a woman. But women are not very heavily represented in philosophy. If it's these things that they're thinking at like fucking 13, as like a slumber party or what have you, why are they not overwhelmingly?
You'd think they'd want to claim the world's greatest, philosopher of the last 150 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
200 years, probably
thousands,
500 years.
In the past 2,000 years since Aristotle, the best philosopher.
Well, let's have Aquinas. We want our Holy Trinity, right? So like Aquinas, what was he like? What?
He was like 1600s, wasn't he?
Yeah, 1600. So like 500, 400 years. Best philosopher. Rothbard's are great, but like he didn't do great with the metaphysics epistemology. He had to copy Rand's homework, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rand was the winner. She won, and the feminists, they don't care for her at all. They're like, what? Why not?
It's because they never care about women. Actually, they just care about their like Marxist ideology. They're basically Marxist adjacent ideology, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is for gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss until someone actually does it, and then they're like, oh wait.
Speak it, sister.
All right, let's go back to the video, I guess.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Chronic won't have context.
Is that how it's supposed to be?
Oh, let me try play pause.
Workers were.
Did that fix it?
I see now.
Playing it
here. Yep, that's great.
I mean, where Amazon Air is unfair. Don't give a shit. Then don't work there. Don't care. Bust the unions. Jeff Bezos, you're my god. I will work. If there's ever a union strike, I will be a union buster for the pure pleasure of it. Hire me as a scab anytime you want, bro. I'm there for you.
Yeah, I've seen some tweets by Jeff Bezos, I think reposted by Manshama recently, and he's surprisingly based.
Oh yeah, he's great. I love Jeff Bezos. Most billionaires are great. There are a few which are horrible.
I saw this video lately where, if you're familiar with the video game DCS, it's like a plane combat simulator, right? And someone had reskinned all the planes to be like different companies, and like there was spam rammers on Prime. It was like a bunch of F-16s firing air-to-air missiles at like Facebook planes and Microsoft planes. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious. And there was like a song in the background that was like, it was like, Jeffrey Bezos, go fuck their wives and drink their blood. It's like, what the fuck? It's amazing. Spam rammers on Prime. If you need a missile delivered to your enemies ASAP, we got spam rammers on Prime for you.
I love Jeff Bezos' Billionaire Core. Right.
Exactly.
Prohibited from unionizing. This is the one.
Good. Yes. Brilliant. Prohibit them from unionizing. Mr. Marxist, why is that a bad thing? Do you have an ethical prescription here? It's bad to prohibit them from unionizing, is it? Why?
Something I realized lately about trade unionism, right? I'm gonna say this every time I interject. Something I realized lately. Trade unions are literally cartels for labor, right? Like the same
Mhm.
way that, like, the in the Henry Dow story, there's a German chemical cartel, right? Where there's a bunch of people who get together to collectively bargain to raise the price of their chemicals. The labor unionists are doing the exact same thing. They're forming an economic bloc to try to raise the value of their labor when they sell it, right, above the market value. And the other thing is, you realize is, for the same reason that the chemical cartels don't survive on the free market, the unions would not survive on a free market because you would have defectors.
Mhm. Exactly. Like, and it clarifies so many things in economics when you recognize that there is no like special status to the capitalist in the trade. That's just another trade. Every trade is fundamentally, pardon me, the same in kind, right? The capitalist doesn't occupy some special status. So, yeah, you're entirely right. This is a cartel for labor. It's exactly the same sort of thing as a cartel for other things because it's on the other side of the trade. And this is why it's kind of ludicrous when people are like, "No, the capitalist is like the dominant one in the trade." No, actually, no. If the capitalist wants your work, you're able to bargain just as well as he is. Right? It's just that he's got more
Yeah,
money.
the difference is the seen and the unseen. Like the labor is like very visible. Like you can see someone doing an extra work, but the risk taken on by the capitalist is unseen. So like most people just don't see it.
Like that's the fundamental. That's the only thing you can say is that the capitalist has relatively higher time preference than the laborer, right? And that's that. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I did the day one Hoppian mistake. Fuck.
I do it too.
I haven't made that mistake in my entire career, and that was the first time. And now I have to commit seppuku.
Liquid Zulu is over.
I'm literally a day one
I actually
Hoppian.
made that exact same mistake earlier in the stream, but corrected myself immediately. Maybe that's what, like, maybe you just remembered that and you just got confused.
You infected my mind. Yeah, let's get back to these unioners, I guess.
Way that labor can come together, influence the balance of power. We can use this understanding to see how ruling elites.
I do want to clarify, like, obviously, none of us give a shit if somebody wants to do collective bargaining. Go for it, champ. If you want to get together with your friends and do like, we're all going to quit. Okay, go on. I don't care. But as Chronic points out, these unions are propped up by the state, by state regulations. Unions are propped up, and they are very powerful organizations, very terrible organizations. They completely destroy productivity. Also, Elon Musk, based.
I spoke to a friend of mine who deals with trade unionism. He revealed to me that, like, there's like a list of union jobs, right? Like he works at a port. And I don't want to reveal too much about him. So, but he revealed to me that the union, there's a designated job for button pusher, right? That's the job of the guy in the elevator who pushes the button that tells the elevator what floor it goes to. That guy's job
is he the fucking like? Is he the 1920s? Does he work in the past?
He works in the modern day. He literally does he works on, like, a cruise liner or like a or I don't know. He works at a cruise ship terminal, and he operates like it's usually going to be a cargo elevator, I suppose. So he's operating like something that has a bunch of valuable shit on it, right? So obviously, if you fuck it up, it's going to do some damage. So I guess the button pusher is
that would be the most miserable
than the 1920s
job.
Elevator boy.
Like, can you imagine that you're a system which could just be automated? You're a shell script, and that is your job. Like, that would be miserable.
Oh my god, imagine the trade union, except it's like the trade union at like ChatGPT. And so instead of having them do data centers, they just get millions and millions of people to do like matrix operations. So you get a piece of paper at your desk, you have to modify it slightly and pass it on to the next person.
Well, we could get literal Bitcoin miners if we did this.
Human Bitcoin mining.
By the way, in Three Body Problem, the television program. By the way, I think there's like two different television programs. One of them's really shit. One of them's really good.
One of them's the Netflix one.
Yeah.
I don't know if the other one exists. I don't know what it is. Let me have a look.
Yeah, no, in that there is like a human computer they do where they have like because they're trying to solve the three body problem, name of the show. It's like I have got all the Emperor's men, and they've each got like flags, and they like build like a human CPU. Like miserable.
They literally like construct a computer out of guys with flags, and like if they have a logic gate, whereas like if these two guys present a white flag, then this guy will also present a white flag, and that's your AND gate, right?
And I think Vsauce did that before. Yeah, on a smaller scale though.
Took that idea from the book, but like
probably
it's really cool, and I mean they don't. I mean, that doesn't literally happen with humans. It's like in a computer game, and it's representing the things that I'm not going to spoil it, but it's great.
Yeah.
It's you should watch it. I mean, I haven't watched the show. I read the book.
Mm.
I should watch the show maybe.
Oh, by the way, did you hear that Iran was literally sofa unlocked by the US? They gave them a virus which like subtly changed the outcomes of implosion calculations for like decades.
Oh, really?
So they've just been...
I mean, didn't they also send a virus to like break their centrifuges like Stuxnet?
Yeah,
just, like,
yeah.
Spin them way too fast.
But this one is like way more subtle. Like it just subtly changes the physics of implosion calculations, and they've been working on this for decades. So none of their nuclear science has been progressing for decades. Like, Jesus, that is crazy that they pulled that off.
That's cruel. That's hilarious. I love that. That's funny.
Large corporations can exploit their own power, push down working class people from unionizing. And if you think about it, today
there's like a Chinese TV adaptation produced by Tencent, and there's an American TV adaptation produced by Netflix. I'll have to compare them. You know, we'll have to find out which one's good.
Yeah, the one I watched was pretty good, and it's only got one season so far. I think they're releasing another one at some point.
Well,
but
I mean, surely that was the Netflix show, so
yeah, okay, that'll be the one. It's the one where like half of it's set in like London for some reason. Because they didn't want it all set in China, so they got a bunch of like Chinese guys speaking English. It's like, this doesn't really work.
Yeah, that was definitely the Netflix show.
we are in an even more capitalized version that Marx likely saw. Every part of society is monetized. The second you pick up your phone, you're using...
Brother, well, that's what I was going to say. You've monetized this video, but he probably hasn't because he's only got 42 subscribers. So maybe he's living his principles, I suppose. He hasn't monetized the video.
Oh.
a tool that was created by capitalism. While my iPhone might be something that I find useful and something that I can use to create my own intellectual labor, it's still a product of capitalism. And then let's take this as...
I don't know, don't use it.
He wants us to go to subsistence farming and just like not have any technology at all.
Yeah, like this is the thing with these communists. Like they try to dunk on that like it's that comic, like, why don't you things could be slightly better, like, and yet you participate in the system. That comic, they try to dunk on that idea all the time. But it's like, no, you could absolutely vastly reduce your connection to capitalism. Like, you have Hassan Piker making fun of that. Meanwhile, he's riding around in like sports cars. It's like, buddy, you could unionize. You should make your channel a cooperative. Why isn't Hassan Piker's Twitch stream run cooperatively, where everybody gets equal profits? Why isn't that the case? Because he doesn't believe it.
Here's the thing: they're not just saying we can improve society somewhat. They're saying there is a morally objectionable feature of society, right? Like there's something about society which is bad to participate in it, right? And so therefore, like, if they were not hypocritical, if they were following their own principles, they would not participate in society, right? But no, they're then framing it like, no. All I'm saying is we can change some things to improve it, right? Which is not what they're saying, right? They're saying that the capitalists are morally abhorrent, right? Not that the capitalists are merely inefficient, right? That there's a better like economic arrangement, right? They're saying no, the capitalist, like, engaging in consumption is unethical, right? That's what they mean.
Yeah.
No ethical consumption of capitalism. Well, okay, then be ethical, go out in the wilderness, and I don't know what you would do that isn't capitalism, you know. I mean,
no property, so I could come along and like take their food, you know, or whatever. But like, it's we have an equivalent thing on our side, but we actually follow through on our ethics, namely IP. We don't believe that IP is legitimate. As it turns out, if you go down to the description of this very stream, you'll notice that it's Creative Commons, and I disclaim the attribution requirement. Now, I could benefit perhaps if I had IP on my videos and prevent other people from copying them and so on and so forth. I could take down dissenters, because dissenters have reposted my content in the past. I could do all these things, and I would perhaps even be in the legal right, according to the state, to do a lot of it. But I don't believe in that. I believe that is wrong. Imagine if I was just saying, well, no, IP is wrong. I'm just advocating that we improve society by getting rid of IP, but I'm still going to participate in enforcing IP whilst it's there. It's like, no, I don't do that. I follow my fucking ethics. None of the fucking Marxists do.
You know, because it would just be simply too hard for you to do it. If, you know.
Yeah, you can't live under the Marxist ethics. I wonder if that has a comment on whether it's true or not.
If everyone follows communism, we get global extinction.
Yep. No way, really? Fine.
A step further, the second you turn on your phone and you scroll to the nearest app, we're completely bombarded by advertisements. So when academics use this as a lens, we can see the use.
I mean, by the way, you only really get bombarded with advertisements if you either don't bother turning on ad blocker or you're fine with advertisements. Like, those are the cases under which you get bombarded with advertisements. Like, it's a choice. you can choose to not see an advert ever. I never see advertisements.
Yeah, on your own computer, right? Like I recently installed Alma Linux to get off of Manjaro, right? And I opened up Firefox and I hadn't installed an ad blocker yet. And I opened YouTube, like, oh my God, there's so many fucking ads. And then immediately I just went to get uBlock Origin, and suddenly I'm free. I don't have to care,
It,
right?
yeah,
I
no,
mean, I
like,
guess you go outside, you can't stop having seeing billboards, but like I
mm,
don't care. It doesn't affect me.
yeah, like I just filter billboards out of my mind. Like I don't even acknowledge that they exist. Like,
I don't remember the last billboard I like. I mean, there are some that are funny. There was like one that was like on the metro. It was like a teeth whitening ad, and it was like Sydney, and aspire to whiteness. And like that's really funny. That's like took a photo
you know,
or something.
you are right. Like, whenever I'm like on a browser where I don't have ad block, it is like jarring what the internet looks like for normies. I would not enjoy that one bit.
People who don't know how to install ad block or uBlock Origin, 2 clicks, like click like there's an extension button on your browser. Click that, and then type in ad block, and then pick one, right? And then you probably should work, right? I use uBlock Origin. I don't remember why. I probably picked it because it was good, and it works.
Yep.
I mean, even when it comes to billboards and like posters out in the wild, in a truly free market, like you won't have those if people really hated them, because it would just be like it's like put like billboards that people hated around your business. Like less people will be going there, right? They prefer to go to somewhere where there's less billboards and less like posters if they're like really bad and really bad for like aesthetics or like making the whole place look terrible. So you just won't get that under a free market if people really don't like it. You will only get that if it was actually profitable for the company, meaning it won't cost them all their customers.
I think we have a pretty natural distribution of billboards in real life already. Like, because like, I mean, I work at a restaurant. There's no billboards inside my restaurant, in the restaurant I work at, right? But if I go to the metro, I mean, the metro is like, I guess, a state sanctioned company or
Yeah.
whatever. But like, they have ads on the siding, and I doubt that would change if it was privatized. I think I've been on some private trains, and they have ads too. But like, the thing is, no one cares. Like, it doesn't affect people that there's fucking ads on the metro, right? It's not like you have to wait for an unskippable ad to leave the train. It's like, please, we need to get to work. Sorry, you have to wait 5 seconds before you can skip this ad. It's like that's not what happens. Oh.
Anyway, let me just read this super chat before we continue because it is relevant to what we were talking about. Griff one none for $5. Thank you very much. Frequent donator to the stream. Love to see it. The most base thing that happened during the Chaz event was the homeless people taking all the food from the Ancoms. Yeah, they've got no counter to that. They've got no objection.
So you can't stop them.
Whoops, it's communal property, bro. Like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Not theft, it's just redistribution.
Exactly.
I found one of the ads I saw on the metro. It's like what does it say? It says premium IV drip experience. The heart of Sydney's North Shore. It's like this clinic that's like giving people IV drips that give them like detox or whatever. And it's an ad on the metro, so it looks like you're living in like the cyberpunk world, and it's really funny. Like, what the premium IV drip experience? Yeah, that's
Like they just give you a
really-
fucking banana bag, basically.
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Oh, by the way, did you see that fucking Midjourney's moving into like they've got like this ultrasound machine they developed?
I did not hear about that. What?
It's like what people are saying is it's like a full body ultrasound, so it's like equivalent resolution to like an MRI, but of course, presumably a lot cheaper than an MRI.
Magnetic.
Yeah, and you don't need like contrast fluid or shit because you might be allergic. So that could be pretty fucking cool.
Or if you have some kind of ferromagnetic implants, you don't fucking die when you get into it.
Anywho, let's get back to Mr. Lucid Politics.
How capitalism continues to exploit labor.
Exploit. Whoops daisies, what does that mean? Means taking surplus value. Not bad, no moral component there.
Labor where you go and you earn money through your job, and then it's continued to
One thing I want to note about the like wage rates, right? If you don't want to be an Austrian economist and you want to be empiricist about it, right? It turns out that most people basically get paid slightly less than the marginal labor value of their product, meaning like the amount of dollars that they add to the business that they which would not be produced if they weren't there, they get paid slightly less than that, right? So it's like if I earn like $10 for the whole business, I probably get paid like $9.90 right, an hour or something, right? So like and this is the point that like Michael Humer does this. He did this in like a presentation he gave. It was like a debate with a communist or whatever, and his point was basically like, well, if you're concerned with fairness, is your concern that like this person should be paid more than they produce? Well, that wouldn't be fair to the other people in the business because like the other workers, they would be better off if the business just fired this guy and then redistributed his wage to everyone else. Like they right? Or just kept it and invested it into capital somewhere. Like they would be able to become more productive, right? So what the price signal in your wage is literally signaling, if you get paid more than you produce in value, is that you are literally a drain on the like production, right? You're literally negatively productive. It's bad to pay you, right? So I don't know, just think about it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you paid him exactly the productivity of his labor, then, well, why would the capitalist make that deal at all? Why would they go into that where they don't get any money? They've got to take on all this risk and they get nothing, no kickbacks. Like it's
yeah, because you'd be literally at like, it would be the identically moneyed situation to if you had not hired him. So that is at most not a loss, right? I think the best employees produce a lot of value, right? And I think those are the situations where if someone gets paid a lot less than they produce, is a situation where they are producing so much that they don't really like they getting a small fraction of that is not painful. Like if it's like a software engineer who like writes a program that's used by millions of computers in the world, right? He probably doesn't get paid like $1 million. He might get paid like a 300K salary, right? But like he could buy a nice car. He doesn't care.
Indeed.
Cycle through advertisements where you go purchase new t-shirts or we go purchase items on Amazon, all the while people at the top of the ladder continue to retain the wealth while those in the middle and lower portions of the ladder are unable to move upward. So what makes Marxism so useful? It doesn't just...
He just doesn't give any explanation justifying that. Like, people just aren't able to move upwards. Okay, proof. Like, just asserts it arbitrarily.
Well, you see, some people can't move upwards because they are like a genius who hasn't reached the right windfall. But then most people who can't move upwards are just being paid the marginal value productivity of their labor. I hate to tell you, Mr. Marxist, most of the people who are like in blue collar work are actually smarter than you, but also they also just like and getting paid more, right? Like most people who are like like day laborers who get paid minimum wage are not like they're not just waiting for a windfall so they can start their own business. No, there are people who are just like, and this is not meant to be like this is not meant to be disparaging to them. They are honorable people generally, right? But they're just not the people who are constituted to be entrepreneurs. They don't have the intelligence and the right personality complex for that, right? And that's fine.
Yeah, it's a time preference question, and it's not bad to have high time preference and want to be a laborer. Like, we want division of labor, right? Ideally, I wouldn't have to be an investor, for instance. I've got to be an investor because otherwise my money just gets swallowed up by inflation. Ideally, saving would mean just putting it to one side and not spending it. But that isn't actually saving in our system. To save, you've got to be an investor. So we want actual division of labor, where some people who are best constituted to be entrepreneurs, they are entrepreneurs, and other people don't have to be. Like, not everybody has to be a CEO. Like, this is ludicrous.
But also, like, we can never know for sure, like, exactly how things would be in a free market, right? Like, we're not central planners. Like, the government has so much regulations that, like, sometimes it might be the case that there's a blue-collar worker that could become a CEO. But, like, because of all the regulations and all the taxes, it would actually be unprofitable for him to become a CEO, even though he could have been profitable as a CEO in a free market.
Mm-hmm.
That's also true. Like, there's many people who like start a business and then they get choked out by regulation, and like you have this sort of this pressure towards larger than would otherwise exist companies.
It gives us useful lenses to interpret society today. One of my favorite examples is David Harvey's Right to the City. David Harvey is, of course, a modern Marxist theorist, and I've included a link to his piece in the show notes below. So,
if you said, of course, David Harvey is, of course, a modern Marxist theorist. Like, is he famous? I didn't know that.
Never heard of him.
Literal mega lol.
Well, essentially, in Harvey's piece, he looks at the city and he says,
we would know him if we were Marxists,
And also, we wouldn't.
It's kind of like saying Hopper is, of course, an Austrian economist, right? Like, I mean, yeah, that's obvious to people who know who Hopper is.
It's the XKCD comic about geologists.
Well, everyone knows a few feldspars.
and quartz, of course. Let me bring this up. Silicate chemistry is second nature to us geochemists. It's easy to forget that the average person probably only knows the formulas for olivine, and one or two feldspars, and quartz, of course. Even when they're trying to compensate for it, experts in anything wildly overestimate the average person's familiarity with their field.
Well, the average person obviously knows that the non-aggression principle, aggression means conflict, of course. Aggression means initial conflict. Of course, indeed.
The average person probably only knows about one or two solutions to the homestead problem, and dialogical estoppel, of course.
Meanwhile, apparently Dave Smith doesn't know one solution to the donut homestead problem.
As this isn't simply just a place we live, but it's something that's shaped by capitalism itself and gives examples of how everyday life has imbalances of power exploited by people that earn a lot of money and those that are continuing to create labor that supports the system itself. We could see the imbalances of power throughout the world. I'm thinking some places that I've been to myself, places that I've lived: London, Dakar, Senegal, New York, Tokyo, Mumbai, places like this. There are luxury accommodation alongside housing shortages throughout cities. Gentrification is when richer people move in and push out lower income.
The whole gentrification point is just utterly confusing to me. Because they don't want white people to move to an area because that's gentrification. They don't want white people to leave an area because that's white flight. So what are you looking for
I
here?
win, tails you lose.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing, whenever I hear someone like complain about something in their life, or like in a YouTube video, right? And I hear someone complain about something, or like, something, they're like, this is the fault of capitalism. I immediately like pause, dislike, and click off the video because like this person is stupid. Like, it's just so annoying, especially if it's like a normal video. Like usually if I'm watching a video on politics, right, and someone is going to complain about capitalism, I'll keep watching because I'm like, okay, I'm here to hear about your political opinion. But if someone is talking about like, I don't know, the video game industry, or like, their like, I don't know, psychology, and it's like, we live under a capitalist system, which
This is
blah,
late
blah,
stage
blah.
capitalism.
Oh my god! Like it happens in like in a worrying amount of like, I don't know, like Gen Z YouTuber who's like, I'm writing about the Gen Z living situation, and he's like, late stage capitalism. Okay, you clearly don't know anything about what the situation is.
And this was my whole impetus behind trying to get as many libertarian YouTubers as possible. Unfortunately, I only succeeded with Galazar. And the other ones quit.
I'll get there in the next win week. I'm gonna post something, I promise. I don't have any exams to do. I just have to go to work probably today and tomorrow and Sunday, and but I'll have something out eventually.
There you go. Yeah, that was like my whole.
I'm gonna make a video during the summer as well, so I guess I still have a few months left until my deadline.
Yeah, like,
It'll be fine.
I think it's good to have. Like, I'm not picky. Like, I've given advice to people on YouTube who didn't even have like libertarian channels, but they are a libertarian who is a YouTuber. That has always been my standard, because yeah, I want there to be like just random YouTubers out there who are like in the background, they're just actually anarcho-capitalists. I've known a few gaming YouTubers who've been like that. Like, this is a good thing because it just subtly gets through in the way you conduct yourself, in the ways you're describing. Like, you can see the vast majority of like the LA streamer sphere, they're socialists. Right? I want there to be a huge contingent of like just hardcore anarcho-capitalists